right, welcome to the Light Bars and Lockers podcast, the show where we answer your questions, discuss everything Jeep, and talk about ways to beef up your ride. I'm Paul with JeepBeef, and as always, I've got Ryan Stuangi from Combat Off-Road and our special guest host. Welcome, Angel from Seven Slot Society.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
I love it.
Cheers, boys.
The cracks. There we go. Cheers.
Woo.
That's sparkling water. Woohoo.
I know. Me too. I feel like one of those European soccer players, except I put mine in the fridge.
Now you got to like lay down and pretend like you're hurt. Oh,
right. And then you can come over and revive me with the Perrier.
Right. There you go. I love it. Oh my goodness. All right. Cool. So I bring this stuff up. What's that?
Did you break it?
I totally did. Yeah. 100%.
It's okay. I can't even start it, so it's okay. You broke it.
There you go. All right, cool. Good. All right. Well, let's jump into it. I mean, we're gonna get all personal and weird here with
all about it.
With Angel. I mean, so everyone that's listening is aware. We've got he's a videographer, a YouTuber, host of a podcast, brand builder, photographer, IT professional, and obviously a Jeep enthusiast. So, I'd say definitely a jack of all trades, but the crazy thing is as far as I can tell, you do everything super well. So, Angel, welcome, and hey, thanks for being here. And tell us a little bit, tell us the 20,000 foot view for people who may not know what Seven Slot Society is and who you are.
Well, thank you again. Thank you, boys, for having me. I appreciate it. I am Angel. 31, born and raised in Montgomery County, Maryland, ended up in Virginia. I don't know how, but I'm here. Seven Slot started in 2013, I think. I bought my first Jeep in 2009, was a bone stock 2005 TJ. That actually, surprisingly, it was a sport model, had a Dana 44 in the rear.
Ooh, tow package truck. There you
go. Exactly. I ended up selling it like an idiot. So everybody has that one Jeep they never should have sold. Mine was my first one. I could take or leave all the other ones I've had, but that one I never should have got rid of. But Seven Slot started just as an Instagram page. Like, we were only going to repost other people's Jeeps. It was never meant to be a brand. My name, my face was never supposed to be associated with it. But it just blew up out of nowhere. And especially for how many different pages were starting in 2013. I don't know if you guys were really in the social media scene of off-road back then, but it was there was a new page starting up every day. And we just kind of weathered the storm, and people started vibing with the brand. And, I started thinking the brand is not going to grow. You can't become invested in a brand if there's nobody associated with it. So I started poking my face in a little bit here and there, and for whatever reason, people vibed with it. So just kept building and building, and it's really turned into something that it never was meant to be at all from the beginning.
That's fun, man, though, right? That just makes it more fun, right? Just an adventure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. So much stuff has changed. There's Instagram page in the beginning, and, fast forward a bunch of years, I'm shooting King of the Hammers for a big sponsor. Who saw that coming?
Yeah,
for sure, right? And that's one of the questions I wanted to ask. So I know obviously about the Seven Slot Society, but I also know that you do an awful lot of things outside of that. And you had mentioned, in fact, that you were at Ultra 4, last week, was it? Tell us a little bit about that. So you do videography as well, like professional videography?
I do. Yeah, well, professional in the sense that people give me a couple shekels to make a video for them. But it started 3 years ago. Hammers 2018, I think it was. A buddy reached out to me, knew that I did photography. He asked if I would come be a second shooter. And I was like, absolutely. I love photography. I love race cars. And a chance to go to the King of the Hammers, I'm like, I am all in. And I've shot a bunch of regional races since then, series outside of Ultra 4. And then that also went into doing stuff outside of Ultra 4. I got a couple jobs with PRP, Baja Designs. Shout out to my buddy Jarrett. I went down to Texas with him to shoot a moto event, which was super cool.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of snowballed. Like I said, snowballed into something I never expected it to be.
That's awesome. Right on. Cool. No, that's really cool. Yeah, I was super curious about that because you had mentioned that's where you were. Sounds like a lot of work, but sounds like a lot of fun at the same time, right?
Yes, hard work, but pretty rewarding.
Nice.
So
awesome.
lots of travel, man, or like you break it up throughout the year, or how does that fit?
Yes. Yeah. So for like stuff like hammers, I'm in Virginia, like I said, so I fly to anything that's Utah or California. But for stuff in Tennessee and Kentucky, I drive. And that last weekend was 18 or 19 hours on the road there and back, wow. Plus one speeding ticket, which was super awesome.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, Virginia.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have a good road dog, so it's not too bad.
There you go. Well, that's all right then. At least you got some company. Yeah. That's awesome. Going back to 7 Slot though, the beginnings, if you will. So you said it started in 2013. When did you decide that like maybe it would be a little bit more than just a Facebook page or an Instagram page?
Fairly shortly after, like 2014, about a year after. Excuse me.
Yeah, too much sparkle in that one, man.
Right. We did a charity event at the end of 2013. And that's when people started associating my face with the brand. And then as we got further into 2014 was when I was like, shit, we started having meet and greets and, stuff outside of social media where people were like, oh, that's, Angel from 7 Slot or Angel who runs 7 Slot. So that's when we started to realize it was probably going to be a little bit bigger. And then people started asking for shirts. I'm like, who wants shirts from a repost Instagram page?
Right. Right. Yeah, I know that one. And well, that was going to be a question by the logo. I mean, like that seems to be, so 2 things. One, it seems like everyone within, the community. And I guess that, well, it just seems like everyone's like, oh yeah, Angel from 7 Slot. Yeah, I know who he is. It just seems like, and I guess that's why, right? Like you say, you've become the face of the brand, I think. And yeah, it does seem, I mean, again, seemingly not, obviously we don't know each other personally, but whenever I'm discussing with just about anyone, they're like, oh yeah, Angel, whether it's from the videography. So a couple of people I've spoke to had mentioned like, hey, they know you because he's like, he does videography for the Ultra 4, right? I'm like, yeah.
Okay. I think that's good, I guess. Then.
Right? Yeah. And so, to be honest, I thought that was your full-time job. I was like, oh, okay, maybe that's how you seem to know everyone. But I guess it's because you're the face of the brand, right? But I was gonna ask the logo. I mean, the logo is sick. I mean, there's no question. It's a sick logo. Did you create it, or did that come in?
No, that is version 2 of the logo. I don't have one of the old designs, but it was like 3 S's stacked on top of each other with like mud tracks. Super original.
Right.
And then, excuse me, one of my buddies, PJ Pomada, he's one of the ones that first started helping me. He was one of a few, and he actually drew that by hand.
Okay.
And this is my table that I keep all of my stuff. So when people order something, I go to this table and get it. But he actually drew this logo, and we posted it up as just like a temporary profile picture, and people absolutely lost their minds. Yeah. And I was like, shit, I guess this is what we're going with now.
Yeah.
It is. It's a sick logo, man. Like
that is all PJ. I cannot draw worth a shit. That awesome. Is all PJ.
That's awesome. Yeah, and it's amazing though how you can, like something like that, you can make or break it, like 100%, right? You can, like if you had the 3 S's with the mud, right? I mean, would it be as recognizable, or would people just be like,
no, absolutely it'd be muddy,
right?
No way.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy with the 3 S's? No.
Exactly. Right? And it looked like a coil spring. Like it was all sorts of fucked up.
No. But it's 2013. Everything was back then. I mean, right? I mean, everything. It's like we started back in the day in digital in like 2002. And believe it or not, I mean, you would think it was like the 1970s if you look back at like how bad everything was back then. Like it's insane, right? So but no, I definitely dig that logo. I think a lot of people do. I think it's certainly iconic. I'll tell you, my favorite picture on your entire website is the page that sells the decal for that. Do you know why? What do you know
No,
why?
why?
I'll have to
Yes. The oh my God, it's somebody from West Virginia. I can't remember his name.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
He's got the JeepBeef logo right below it.
Yes.
I remember I was just flipping through the
forgot
website
about
and I was
that.
like, what? That is like the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I cannot remember that guy's name.
That's awesome. I was gonna ask if that was your XJ, because you had an XJ, right?
I've had 3, yeah.
Okay, tell us. Well, let's talk about your builds then. So you started first with, you said, a TJ, right?
Yes.
So walk us through what happened after the TJ and like where are you at now? I know you have a YJ, but let's sort of progress to get there.
Yeah, so I'll give you a quick history. So 2009, I got the Jeep. I was in 29 Palms at the time in California. It was all desert. We would just go out and bomb the sand in the mountains for hours and hours and hours. And that's really what just kind of brought my love for being off-road. Like, we would go for 2 or 3 hours in one direction and there would be nobody there. We were wheeling alone, which I do not recommend, but it was a lot of fun. That one ended up getting a 4-inch lift on 33s. I sold that one and started building an LJ that never came to fruition. The one after that was a, I don't know if you saw the Dookie scooter. It was a tan XJ that had a cage in it that was stripped to shit. Had a doubler in it, 37s, lockers. That thing I absolutely loved.
Yeah.
That one ended up getting parted out and traded for the YJ that I have now. But in between that, I had 2 other XJs and a 4-cylinder TJ, which I will never buy again.
Yeah,
right?
man. 4-cylinder.
That's what Tim always says. Like, if you're gonna do it, do not get the 4-cylinder. Like, don't.
Terrible. I owned it for like 2 months. I drove it to work for 2 months and I was like, this is terrible. And I sold it.
Yeah.
Crazy. When I was younger, I actually had someone convince me that 4-cylinder was a good buy. And I nearly bought it. Thank God I didn't. But I was so close to buying it. I'm like,
he's so unhappy.
Come on, Jeep wouldn't put a shitty engine in their Wrangler, right? Like,
no, Jeeps are good to go off the lot. You don't have to do anything to them.
Right, exactly.
They're trail rated. They got badges and shit.
Exactly.
So tell us with the YJ then.
So the YJ, I traded. So we ended up trading the first XJ on 37s that I had, the Dookie scooter, trading it for the YJ. And that one is now leaf springs in the front, 4-link in the rear with air shocks. I had my friends over at Level 4 Concepts do some cage work. It is sitting in my garage now, kind of dismantled because I'm an idiot. The gas lines are leaking. The steering lines got nicked. So I went to crank it over to like cycle the steering to get the air bubbles out of the hydro, and didn't look where the lines were. So when the fan kicked on, it fucking chopped into the lines.
Brutal, eh?
Yeah. So now I got to get new lines made because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, that's awesome though. So what do you daily? I guess you don't daily the YJ, obviously.
No, I daily a 2010 Honda Civic.
Oh, right. You know, I knew that because you did a podcast from your Honda Civic.
Yes,
at least
I've done a few.
Yeah, right on.
Yes,
nice. Okay,
did you see that Honda commercial where the old dude and the other Asian dude wave at each other, like the awkward wave? It's
no.
I gotta find that for you, man, and send it to you.
Well,
they did like a Jeep wave.
Yeah, totally. With the Honda Civic, it was hilarious. There's like a new style Asian guy coming, and then this old school white guy coming, and they do like the awkward wave.
That's funny. I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Awesome.
Dude, it's cool commercial.
That is so cool. I love it.
I don't even know. It must have been about Hondas, but I just laughed with that. Period. You know what I mean?
The Honda wave.
All right. Well, let's talk about your YouTube channel then. And one of the reasons I think I've caught a couple of shows or what have you that you popped up there. Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons it caught my eye was you're learning to weld, correct?
Yes.
Which is something I definitely want to do, right? Like it's so cool. So I'm with you on that. Like I've watched a couple going, you know what? I need to learn this. So tell us a little bit, like how did that start? Was it just a natural progression, or what sort of came first, that or the podcast? So
in 2015, I worked at a local fab shop, and I was a shop manager for 2 or 3 years. So I kind of got the basics of welding there. But when I left that job, I kind of just never touched a welder again. And then one of my buddies out here upgraded his machine and gave me his old one, which is like a 110 plug into the wall, nothing crazy. Yeah. But he's like, you can use it if you want. And I was like, fuck yeah, I want to use it. So I went out and I got a bottle of gas, and I've just been buzzing away. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, welding's a lot of fun. I've been doing it for like 20 years.
Yeah. I know, because Tim,
I get a kick out of it.
Tim, it's crazy because, you know, I don't remember what I needed to weld. But anyway, Tim's like, yeah, I'm teaching my kids. You can come over and learn. Like, these kids are like 6, right? I'm like, okay. And then he's like, throw it up on your YouTube channel. I'm like, I can't, man. Like, Angel from 7 Slots doing that. I'll totally look like I'm trying to
dude. No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. No, I was just funny. We were just kind of joking. I was like, but you know, here I am with like the, you know, his little guys learning how to weld. I didn't actually take him up on the offer or anything, but yeah, no, it's a super handy skill to have, right? Like, I mean, which is so cool. But yeah, so tell us about the YouTube channel. I mean, outside of that, because you post your podcast there, and you post like installs and stuff as well. I think
I call them, this is not a tutorial, or this is not a DIY. I did something with I have a 1988 Comanche that I had to replace the steering column in. And the first thing I said was, we're going to do a video and I'm going to show you what I'm doing, but I'm not going to tell you how to do it because this is not a how-to channel.
No,
yeah.
But I do a little bit of everything. As long as it's kind of off-road related, I'll put it on the channel. That channel was started along with, at the same time, the Instagram was started. So I've been doing live streams.
What do you prefer, man? Do you prefer do you prefer Instagram, or do you prefer YouTube, or what's your favorite kind of media channel?
I think Instagram's the easiest, just because it's easiest to connect with people. But I think YouTube really satisfies my creative itch or my creative hunger, because I can put a little extra effort into making videos. I can't really do anything when I'm just reposting other people's pictures.
Right.
I hear that, man, 100%. So do you edit everything yourself, or?
Yes. Yeah. I do. Cool. I've been doing video editing since high school.
Is that right?
So it's just, that's just something that's easy for me. I can shoot, film, and edit something in one day if it's like
I wish, man.
Simple.
That's awesome. I when I was in high school, I did the same thing, and I just don't have, because I stopped doing it. But yeah, videography and stuff, like, if you have the time, I mean, for me, it takes a long time anyway. It's a great creative outlet, right? Like, it really is.
Yeah,
totally
absolutely.
You know, it's like yours, right? You know, as opposed to just reposting someone else's shit. You know, which is
it's
cool.
It's easy to get lost in it, though.
Yeah, I bet, right?
You'll spend 6 hours on a video that you could have had done in one, and that 6 hours will be because you're trying to do something fancy that nobody except you is gonna know.
Right.
So that's where I have to even it out a little bit.
Yeah, right on. What do you? This is a bit of a sidebar, but you know, going back to the whole Instagram thing, have you had any like experience on the real side of things? Like, what are you seeing on Instagram that's helping you connect with people?
So something that because over the years I've tried different things to see like what will boost engagement or what won't. There was a point in time where me posting 10 times a day was boosting, followers and all the metrics. That's not the case anymore whatsoever.
Right.
But what I've found is just I write a note to myself every morning of, 5 things that I have to get done, accomplished, that will further my business. And one of them is to be intentional with what I'm doing on social media. So instead of just, scrolling like, every time I do that, I have to make a comment, like something intentional about what they've chosen to post.
Yeah, that's smart. That's cool. I think that's the hallmark of success, right? Really, like spending the few minutes in the morning trying to figure out what your goals are for the day, and then trying to execute on those, right? I know it's an area that I always try to do the same thing. I don't do it that often though, so kudos to you for doing it. So that's amazing. Awesome.
I fail a lot, but I try and go through the motions.
Yeah, right. Like that's the thing. That's all you can do, right? No, and it's good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the reason, you've got so many things going on, and like I say at the very beginning, I mentioned all the check marks that you sort of tick off with what you do, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. So let's talk about the podcast, because the podcast is awesome. I started listening to it sort of in preparation for this, but it was a couple of weeks ago when we first started talking.
We started talking a while ago.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of back and forth, right? Yeah, exactly. Buddy, yeah, Ryan's the one that reached in and got the whole.
I want to make some friends, dude.
Yeah, right.
Paul can't be my only friend.
Right? Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah.
What?
So the podcast, though, I mean, it's fun. Like, I mean, and for anyone that's listening to this podcast, obviously you're here for a reason. You got to check out the 7 Slot Society podcast, because it's fun. Like it really is fun. So tell us about that. When did that start? And how does that,
that was about 2 years ago, I think. At the time, I was just devouring everything that Gary Vaynerchuk had to say on his podcast.
Gary V.
And he was like, if you're not doing a podcast right now, you're an idiot. And I was like, well, I am an idiot, but I can start a podcast.
Right.
So I started with like $20 worth of like USB equipment and a bunch of trash stuff. It was so fun. Like, I would go live and take questions and drink way too much and just record it and put it up as an episode. It's just, the podcast is so much fun.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, in general, I agree podcasts are fun, but honestly, your podcast is fun. It's cool to listen to. So it's a different
definitely
take,
not
right?
for kids. I don't pull any punches on my podcast. So please don't listen to it with your kids.
Unless it's the one with your kids, which was
that's
good one.
True.
Right, so that one, I think I don't know if you made it G-rated all the way through, because I don't think I listened to 100% of it, but most of it. And I
can't remember. I curse in front of my kids. I'm a terrible parent, so I could.
Yeah, no, we do. It's.
I was going to say, I think we all.
They're going to hear the words anyway.
Right? Dude, exactly.
It's in-house stuff. Just don't be telling your teacher to, fuck a hat.
Yeah, for sure.
If you start doing that, we're not going to have fun language at home. You know?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly.
We're going to have a little chit chat.
Yeah. For me, it's my wife. Like, I'll swear every now and then, but she has no problem. She's I mean, hey, she's picking up the kids and listening to gangster rap in the car. You know what I mean? Like, that's her favorite thing. So,
that's a good education.
Like, they're gonna hear it anyway, right? So there you go. But speaking of that, on that particular episode, I believe, and it's too bad Tim wasn't here, but Ryan also has one of these. You and your kids had a discussion about whether or not Gladiators were real trucks. Does that mean that Gladiator to you is a real truck? Because I know to your kids it's a real truck.
I think that a Gladiator is, I mean, it's a certain type of truck.
Right. Sure. That's
and
fair.
it serves a certain purpose. Like, you can't put that and the 3500 in the same category. They're just not the fucking same. Yeah. But if you put that and like a Nissan Titan together, I don't know what the tow specs on a Titan are, but like smaller trucks like that, I think they serve a purpose. Nice. Don't get me wrong. I love them. I absolutely love them. And I think they're the right tool for the right job.
Yeah, for sure. No, and I'm totally just giving you a hard time, putting you on the spot. But yeah, no, I agree.
No, I'm very vocal about my opinions. I don't give a shit.
I love it. All right, awesome. Yeah, so and I'm going to put you on the spot again. Who's your favorite person you've interviewed so far, and why?
Ooh, favorite person I've interviewed so far. I think it's going to have to be Brian from JCR, because I don't know him on a personal level, but that podcast, I think we did it like 5 a.m. It was something ridiculous. Our schedules like wouldn't line up until that point. It was crazy. But just because I've looked at him from afar for so many years, and I think so many other people have, but to get to sit down and have a conversation with him and like drill him on, different questions that I had, he's like a whole different person than I initially thought he was.
Is that right?
And that's part of the reasons why, in a good way, that's part of the reasons why I like doing the podcast. And I wish I could do more. I have a list a mile long of people I want to talk to. But I think that one's the one that stands out the most. Those guys over there are fucking hilarious.
Is that right?
Yeah, funny stuff.
Yeah. I follow them on Instagram, right? Same thing. Like I know them from there.
They make some nice builds too. Like their display builds are really cool. You know, like that.
Yeah.
Like the Smoking the Bandit JL, that was pretty cool. You know, there's a couple of really cool ones. And they're XJ guys too, so that's probably why you like them a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. They started out doing XJs.
Yeah.
Cool. And so I know you interviewed the guys from Beat Not Baby.
Yes, Dakota and Weston.
Yeah, and that was a pretty good show as well.
Yeah, I know them pretty well.
I was going to say, and do you find that you become better friends with people after they've been on the show, or do you think, or do you just bring on some of your friends? Because I will say this, I've got to throw this out there. I think my favorite podcast ever was the podcast that you did with the baby under the table. Do you remember that one?
That one was kind of recent, wasn't it?
That
was with Lamb Chop.
Again, I was just going through and doing some research, and I was watching. I'm like, and you kind of were leaning down, and you said, "Well, you know, there's a baby."
Yes, I think Lamb Chop was there with my wife.
Yes, Lamb Chop. Is that right? Yeah. It was a classic, though. I gotta say, I haven't yet. You know, we don't have any babies under the table, which is awesome. But that was the best, though. I love it. Yeah, sorry. So the question.
Becoming friends. Those guys, I think I was pretty good friends with them before that. I spent some time with them in Utah, and I see them at Hammers every year. So I think we were the only people that I've really talked to that I haven't been super close with, I think, has been Brian. I think that's the only one. I'd have to go back and look. You'd think I would remember. It's only been like 70 episodes or something, but
hey man, we all the time. I can't even tell you how many episodes we have, and we're always like, did we do that? And neither one of us know. We gotta make a list because we have no idea. Like, and then I'll be like, hey, let's talk about this, and Ryan's like, no, we already covered that, and I like literally have to go and look.
He's like, we did that 2 weeks ago.
No way. Yeah, it was always like.
I'm like,
2 weeks ago.
That's like dreamt being on a podcast,
right?
I don't know if it's possible too.
You know, 3-link versus 4-link was the last one, right? And he's like, yeah, we talked all about that. I'm like, oh, I thought there was more to talk about. I don't know.
No,
a part 2.
Right. That's right.
The missing link. That's what we'll call it.
I like talking to my friends just because we can. It's easier. You can have a topic and go through questions and stuff, but at a certain point, I'm not a great interviewer. So at some point, my notes start to break down, and then if it's with someone I know, I can just default to some like funny story that we have or something like that. That's something that I need to work on.
No, I know, but I think that's what makes it. That's why I sort of enjoy listening to it, because it's like it's a little bit less structured and more. It's just fun. It kind of gets to know you and the guests and stuff.
Right.
So I like I say that the one with Be Not Baby was great. Some questions I had wanted to ask them. They answered, so it was great. I mean, that's I guess.
Good. That makes me feel a little better.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Right on. So, in terms of the off-road side of things, tell us about your background with that. So you had mentioned before that like you got started with your TJ.
Yep.
And then do you find that you still get out much? Like I know it's got to be hard. You have, a day job, I'm sure, and as a matter of fact, I know because your Honda Civic interview was you getting a new job. So.
Yes, that's the question I hate the most. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I haven't been wheeling in like 5 years with my own rig. Obviously, like I go to events and I write seat, and I've driven other people's shit, I haven't been wheeling in my own vehicles.
Dude, that makes me feel so much better because honestly, like it's just hard, right? With kids and work and like multiple like businesses and podcasts and like we went out in September, I think it was, and
it was a while ago.
Yeah, it was months ago, and I think we only got out because we can justify it by saying we were working. We were going to do like podcasts.
It took priority. Yeah.
So yeah, totally. No, that actually makes me feel better. So that's awesome. But so exactly. when you do go wheeling, or even when it's you're out with other people, West Coast, East Coast, what because you travel them both. So
I love this question. I love this question so much. And I really love people that are only from one place and have never been to the other place and have an opinion on it. I think that's absolutely ludicrous.
Right.
You can't have an opinion if you haven't even been to the other side. And that goes both ways.
Yeah.
What I like about the East Coast is it's more wheel speed and horsepower because, you know, majority of the time everything's wet. But then for the West Coast, it's just the scenery. Oh my God. Like I was driving, I forget where I was. I think I was driving from Hammers back to LA and almost crashed a fucking car because I'm just like, oh, this guy looks so amazing.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
but
so
I think
cool.
they're two totally different animals, and I don't honestly think you can put them in the same conversation. They're just different.
Yeah, right on. No, fair enough. And
both have their own like awesome components, right?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I gotta say though, I'm East Coast, wheel the East Coast. That's it. So only anecdotal from what people say. You know, everyone I know from the East Coast that goes to the West Coast says though they can't believe the traction and like you know the grip that you get on your tires, so that you can do some of these amazing things. Like, was it Chuck Converse, man, going backwards up, like, you know, like
the chute in Sand Island.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yep. You know, it's like insane. It's like insanity. You try and do that here.
It really is.
And if you're like, hey, you're dead. Like you're not making it out of that, right?
Yeah, you're not making it forwards, much less backwards.
Right, exactly. Right. So, but you're right about the scenery. I mean, there's just that you can see in pictures, right? Like the scenery on the West Coast is just insane. I mean, even like Northwest, right? Like, so you know,
that's a place I haven't been yet, and I really, really, really want to go.
Nice. Yeah, we have a couple of people who work with us who are in like Pacific Northwest, and their pictures are dynamite. They're just insane. Like it's the place to get product pictures, like for sure. So
it's so far away.
I know, right? I know, because I have to ship everything there. It costs a fortune.
I know.
Where are you guys? To flip the script, where are you guys?
So I'm just north of like Toronto, like Muskoka area. Well, basically, I don't know if you know or not where TMR is, but I'm in the same place as TMR.
I'm so bad at geography.
That's okay. So like an hour and a half from Niagara Falls.
Okay, I've actually been to Niagara Falls. Okay, cool.
There you go. Yeah. So that's where I am. I'm in the wilderness. I'm just actually above Toronto, to be honest. So to go wheeling, it takes like 2 hours, which is another, problem.
That's an easy day. Shit.
Oh yeah.
Anything worth going to is at least 3.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, totally.
That's true. Yeah. But yeah,
where are you at, Ryan?
am.
Are you at the same place?
No, I'm in southwestern Ontario right now. So I'm about 2 hours from Detroit. And then my our pick pack ship is in St. Joseph's, and then our compound's in St. Clair, Michigan.
Okay, cool.
For combat. And then I have other retail business, Off-Road Addiction is where I am right now. So I got 2 retail off-road stores. So I've been doing that for like 17 years. And then
nice.
It's pretty fun. And that's kind of where I kind of learned we wanted to grow and do something different and manufacture our own stuff. So then we went through to create the combat stuff. And it's been about 5 years of pushing it as an extra thing, right? So you don't get all the time you need to punch it out. But we're looking to move that to Texas, hopefully in the next, 8 to 12 months.
Really?
Yeah. I want
to
stay down there. My team here can look after all this stuff and the 2 stores and all the B2B and everything. So it should be good. Yeah.
Big business owner moves. I like that.
Yeah, you got to go all in, but
hell yeah.
It won't kill me if I fail, and I'll just have to start over. No big deal.
Exactly.
Right. That's it. It's the Gary V philosophy.
Yeah, Gary V's he's an intense dude.
Yeah. All right. Well, Angel, tell us what's next for 7 Slot Society and 7 Slot Media, because you also have 7 Slot Media, which we didn't talk about, but. Maybe there's like you differentiate between the two, right? Because at first I wasn't sure if it was the same. I thought somebody was just ripping off which I see a lot of people rip off, by the way, like 7 Slot everything now. Like, yeah,
funny story.
Yeah,
is there really?
Yeah, 7 slots. Yeah, 7 slots.
Oh yeah.
People will cut the top of the O's off, so it says 7 Slut Society on their windshield banners. I think that's hilarious.
Right?
No, but funny story. when we started doing this, I searched the name and nobody had it. There was one other person, I think, in like Australia that was 7 Slats, SLATS.
Oh.
And then I looked like 2 years later, and it's 7 Slot everything.
Yeah.
Any kind of different organization you could think of. But it is what it is. There's enough for everybody to eat. But I wanted to differentiate 7 Slot Society from 7 Slot Media because I was starting to do work for other people. Like I was starting to edit other people's videos. And I didn't want people to be like, oh, yeah, 7 Slot Society's editing my video. I wanted to kind of make it professional-ish.
Yep.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
And Nancy says she's in Chesterfield, Michigan. So she's just just north of the Pick Pack place there. Where'd you say? What was that called?
St. Joe's.
St. Joseph. There we go. I can't remember because I can't even find it on a map. It's
right near the water, dude. Right near the lake, right at the bottom. Yeah.
Nice. So what's next? And actually, I'll ask just a personal question after. In terms of, I'm just digging the green silk screen machine behind you. So I love that. Like I'm telling you, man, when I say jack of all trades, I mean jack of all trades. Like you do it all, man.
So that was actually because I thought it would be cheaper to print my own shirts than to have someone else do it. Not so much the case.
Right.
A little bit good, a little bit bad. So the bad part is I haven't touched that in like 18 months.
Oh, there
really?
You go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did the same thing on a lesser scale with with vinyl because so we have or had somebody in the US who was like our vinyl guy. And that's how we're organized. Like everyone has their own component to play, and we're all over the place. And so I'm like, well, I'll cut this guy out, and I'll just get my own, and I can keep it here in the office and get someone here to print them off and do whatever. Same thing. It's been sitting there for like 12 months because every time I go to print something, it screws up. So I'm like, forget it. Like I just don't care. Like I don't. Yeah, I want to throw the damn thing out the window. This machine.
Yeah,
just way more headache than it's worth for sure.
Yeah, that I'm actually good with. I have a 30-inch vinyl plotter over there that I can run that shit in my sleep. This gives me so many problems.
Is there
so many?
Well, it looks cool though. So.
It's my backdrop for all my videos.
There you go.
A very expensive backdrop,
right? But it's cool. There's a motorcycle guy on YouTube. You ever see that guy?
Who?
He used to race motocross, I think, and now he's got his own clothing line. And
the guy with the knuckle tattoos.
I think so. Maybe he's in Canada though. I know that he's in like Winnipeg, like in Manitoba.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he was just in an email from Ryan this morning. I can't remember his name.
Oh, is that right? Okay, right on. Yeah. It escapes me as well. But
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
But that's his like shtick. Like he's, he was a motocross guy who got into doing his own brand, who now, I guess, figured out how to do screen printing, and now he teaches people how to screen print while selling his own. I mean, like that's the kind of web you want to have going on, man.
That's just smart.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So, and speaking of that, so yes, getting back to the question, what's next? What do you think you see yourself like getting more, like in an ideal world? If you could like quit your day job, focus 100% on doing like what you love, what would it be? What would you do?
It would be screen printing. While I'm not good at it, I absolutely love it. It's just like cathartic, the whole process. I'm a terrible designer, which doesn't help, but I'd love to, like come out with new designs and have like a constant progression of merchandise that's coming out. And I'd also like to do more editing for other people. Like you said, leave my day job. I'm in IT, which is for the money, honestly. It's not something I'm super passionate about, but it pays the bills. But I'd like to do videography stuff full time. It's so competitive. There's 12-year-olds with cameras more expensive than mine that, can edit faster and do it better and more creative. But
send me one of those 12-year-old kids, would you? I need to.
I was just going to say, you'd be surprised though how many of those, like how many people you work with that just do such a shitty job. Like, honestly, I can't
do it for free, and that's how they're getting all the work.
Yeah, see, now that's what we need. But that's the difference between, I think, Americans and Canadians, right? Here, they're doing it for $50 an hour, and they'll do half the job because why not? The government, hand him some cash. Anyway, I don't want to get into that by any means. But no, I think that's awesome. I mean, I totally can understand why, doing something like that, you're doing what you're passionate about, right? Really.
Yeah.
Is but that being said, anyone that's listening, hey, if you need some videography work, right? Like they can reach out. Like I think
it has to be
tough,
cool
man.
stuff though. I'm not editing your wedding video.
I was gonna say, right? Wedding. What's the other
First
one that's painful? Is the realtors, like the home videos?
Oh yeah.
I used to do real estate photography full time.
Right.
Hard pass.
And I mean, you make lots of cash doing it, but it's gotta suck.
I didn't because I was working for someone else. If I had done it on my own, then I would have made all the money. But it was me and a team of like 3 other people. So I was getting a set salary. But yeah, there's money to be made in it if you could stomach it. Just like wedding photographers. I shot 2 weddings, never again. I don't even want to do an engagement shoot. No.
Really, eh? That's awesome.
No.
Well, it's like anything else. When you have to deal with because I don't know, but I suspect you're dealing with like bridezillas who know how to shoot better than you, right? And it's like, yeah, we're paying you money to be here because you're the professional, but I'm going to tell you how to do your job.
Right. And it's sometimes the most important day of their life. And that's
actually a really good point. Too much stress for me. That's a lot of, that's a really good point, right? Yeah. Because it'd be hard not to, that's a tough one for sure.
The people that are good at it, they can have all those jobs. I will happily pass those along.
Right? That's awesome.
I'll stick to my off-road stuff.
Yes. When are we getting this running, dude? When is it coming
out? Hopefully by August. August is the timeline. So I got about a month. So really the only things it needs now is the big things is drive shafts, front and rear, the hydro lines that I chopped up need to be redone. There's a leak in the fuel line somewhere. I need to find that and fix it. I'm sure I forgot to tighten down an AN fitting or something.
There you go. That's the easy one, maybe. Yeah.
I'm an idiot, but it runs. I didn't really do anything with the motor. I just put a Dana 300 behind the NV 3550 that comes with it, I think.
Yeah, the NV 3550.
Yeah, so it didn't really mess with the stock drivetrain other than the transfer case, but
did you flip the 300?
No, I have a Chevy 60.
Oh, right. Okay, cool. Yeah.
So it's passenger drop.
Right. Yeah, passenger drop, and then you did the Jeep 300 or the
no, I didn't have to flip it. I just had to clock it. I had to get one of the rings from Northwest.
Yeah.
And just clock it up a little bit.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah. So that's just drive shafts, a couple leaks here and there, and hopefully it should drive.
Cool. Yeah, we'll be down there. We'll be at Smoky Mountains for the 26th-ish of August.
Oh, yeah?
Are you going to that, Angel?
We were up in the air on that one, but if you guys are going,
come on out. We're gonna stick around.
It seems like it's like the place to be. Like everyone.
That show is so good.
Is it good? Yeah, we have a bunch of people we work with that are gonna be there. Like tons.
And we're gonna stay too. We're gonna stay a few days after and go forward on that Windrock there.
Nice, lucky.
Yeah.
Right.
Might as well.
Must be nice.
I was gonna say I don't get to take part in that though because I gotta fly out. I can only stick around a couple days.
Just drive. Who cares? Do something.
I know, right?
Just drive.
Yeah, it's only like going to be 18 hours or something.
Oof. Down the road, but Angel, you did that last week, right? So
yeah, 7 to 9 hours is kind of like par for the course.
Oh
That's insane.
Yeah,
but it's got to be fun filming that stuff like that. Ultra 4.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like high, like are you like fun. Right down there, like because they have some great footage.
Yeah, well, within the restrictions of like certain places you can be certain distances away from the course, just because those cars are so fast. If you're not paying attention, you'll get fucked up.
Right.
Yeah, they're chucking rocks this big, and if you're not paying attention, the race director JT, I don't know if you guys know him. He actually got hit in the face by a rock last race.
No way.
Yeah, it's definitely a dangerous spectator sport.
That's insane.
But they usually keep the big crowds of people away from that. They keep them at like the start line or something.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. Well, that's I gotta say that's one thing about Ultra 4 is the coverage. Because even online, like you can pull it up and
Did you watch some of it? They had the FPV drones following him into the woods.
I didn't catch one recently, terribly recently. I do know that Tim watches it. He's like a diehard.
Well, they have a car, right?
Pardon me?
They have a car, right?
Well,
they have a TMR car.
Yeah,
he has this car. He doesn't run it there, but he's got a bunch of he sponsors a bunch of guys. So he's got a few guys running for him. Like he's got the deck
like Paul Herschel's one or something.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know everybody that he's working with, but yeah, he's got some stuff. They used to go. I mean, this year was a little tougher because of the virus messes everything.
Well, I mean, I caught hammers, but I didn't. But that's the thing, right? It's like
you got to watch how you say that,
right? What's that?
You can't be telling people you caught some hammers.
Caught some hammers.
You gotta watch how you say that. You're like,
hammers is the big one that most people think when they think of Ultra 4.
That's it, right? Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like I'm definitely one of those guys. Like I'll catch all the action happening up till the race, and then I watch the race, and again, the only reason I really even watch is because of Tim. Like Tim, I don't even know how it sort of happened, but we're just sort of talking back and forth. And like I say, he really is into it. And I figured it'd be, a great show idea. So I thought, hey, I'll check it out. And no, it really is. It's like, it's awesome to watch. And the footage is, it must be drones because it's amazing. Yeah. I started watching it the year that Gladiator
that was 2 years ago when Eric Miller drove the Gladiator.
There you go. That's it. And I always forget the name of the team that put it together.
Savvy.
Which is silly. Savvy Off-Road. Thank you. Yes.
That thing got thrashed.
Yes, right? Like it was brand new, pristine before the race. And so that we posted up on the channel, right? And it was like the before and after. And it was just, like you say, like trash, like done.
Yeah. There were I think something. Yeah, well, something happened with the lockers. I think people were ramming it from the back to get it through some of the silt.
Is that right?
That thing was so trashed.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And then this year, the Bronco, right?
Yep.
I gotta ask, Bronco, what are your thoughts on the Bronco?
I'm all about it.
Yeah.
I'm all about it. I've said this. I'm a hardcore Jeep nerd and Jeep enthusiast and eat, sleep, breathe it, but over everything, I just like cool shit. Like if you show me something that's cool, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
So I love, from what I've seen of the Broncos, I think they're awesome, and it's only going to elevate the sport of off-road further.
Oh yeah, it's going to bring the game up big time. Yeah.
Exactly. People can say whatever they want. There's going to be new companies that come out that design products for it. There's going to be more people that come into off-road, and of course, there's bad things that come with that. You're going to get the jerk-offs that just have too much money, but that happened when the JK came to market. So it's just a big evolution. I'm excited for it regardless.
Yeah, right on. And it's still, JKs, still have that connotation, right? Like people are still like, I'm supposed to be a JK owner. Even though the JLs are out, you still get guys that are like, it's a JK owner, right?
Everybody talks shit about the ones below them.
Right? Yeah,
exactly. Just how it goes. It just keeps evolving.
Yeah. It's the true. JL guys are like, oh, those stupid JK guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what a bum in the JK. Losing.
Right. And me and all my friends in XJs and YJs were just like, Mah!
Right? That's right. Yeah, I was, when I got the JL, it's like people in the JLs don't wave, and I know that wave people like it, hate it, whatever. But I'm like, these fucking people with their JLs, they don't wave, man. Like,
in their defense, and this is going to be a ridiculous thing that I'm about to say.
Yeah.
In JL owners' defense for not waving, when I first got my Jeep, I had no clue, and I was driving to work, driving home from work, and all these people are waving at me, and I'm like, who the fuck is that, and why are they waving at me? And so I had to hit up my dad, who had owned Jeeps in the past, and he's like, oh yeah, Jeep owners wave to each other. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. So that's all I'll say in the defense of JL owners.
No, it's, when I got my first was a JK. I didn't know either. It wasn't until I brought it home, same thing, and my buddy came over to help me take the hard top off, put the soft top on. And he's like, "Are people waving at you?" I'm like, "Waving at me? Like, why? No, I don't know. Maybe." And he's like, "Yeah, they wave to each other, Jeep owners." I'm like, "Really? I had no idea." It's funny how you can go through life not knowing that, really, to be honest, because it's so like, now it's like you wave, man. Like that's what you do.
Right.
Now you're mad.
I think people make people make a little bit too big of a deal about it.
That's right. Yeah. I think it's only because you feel like a knob, right? Because you're like waving and they don't wave back, and you're just like,
you keep going, you turn around and like,
it's like, hey,
you just got your feelings hurt.
You're like, hey, I don't know if you knew, but I was there and I waved and you didn't wave back.
That's my mission,
right?
I mean, maybe you were texting. I don't know what you're doing, but
right. I need you to pay attention when you're on the road.
I mean, there could be another Jeep like me coming, and you didn't wave to me. So
exactly.
Right? And now my day is ruined, and it's your fault.
Yeah, right? Now I waste my time late for my whatever, and fuck you.
Yeah, right on. So, well, again, I really want to appreciate you, or thank you for being here. Apparently, I've had too many of these sodas here.
Yeah,
it's too late at night, past my bedtime. All right, well, hey, listen, I want to thank Angel, everyone who made it this far. Again, thank you so much. Angel, tell everyone where they can find you on the internet. I'm sure they figured it out, 7 Slot Society, but Facebook, Instagram, all that fun stuff. Where can they find you?
It's all 7 Slot Society. Twitter is the number 7 Slot Society, which I never use because Twitter is terrible and I hate it. No offense. I also do some stuff on TikTok, love it or hate it. 7 Slot Society on TikTok. Yeah.
Oh, I'll follow you on because it's a totally different animal. It's fun as hell, and you get sucked in.
Confusing, and it makes me mad.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
I was afraid I gotta dance, so I hadn't even turned it on. Fuck that.
No, it has nothing to do. Well, I mean, you can dance if you want.
Sure.
I always thought it was just dancers, so I'm like, I'm a dancer.
I think it started as a music, right? Musically, it
started as musically,
Yeah, my kid, who's 13 now, when they were 9. Had some friends over, and they were like, check out this app. It's called Musically. And they spent the whole weekend playing on it. And little did I know, I was like, oh, that's cool. Little did I know, like at the time, like you could have, who knows?
Yeah, it's definitely for organic reach, not to get too nerdy into the social media stuff, but the reach that you can get on TikTok is like a fraction of is exponentially more than what you'll get on Instagram reach organic.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense. So
it's
you'll
like
reach
old school days of Instagram before the algorithm, right?
Exactly. So you'll get 2,000 reach on Instagram, and you'll get 90,000 on TikTok without putting any money in. It's just I don't understand the algorithm. It makes me upset. I was telling Paul earlier. My most recent TikTok got like 90,000 views on it, and I don't know why. Because it's literally a video of me hammering a self tapper out because I didn't want to unscrew it. Like, that's it.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Like I posted something on Instagram that got 220,000 views there, and on TikTok it got like 2 likes, I think, and like 100 views. It's like
I don't understand the science behind it at all.
Yeah, man. It makes your head hurt, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, I just gotta roll with it, I guess. But okay, so on TikTok, it's still 7 Slot Society though.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, and then
7 Slot everywhere
is just wherever people consume their media. So basically, wherever you can listen to this. If you're listening to this, wait till we're done, and then flip over to 7 Slot Society.
Yes. And, listen to all of the Light Bars and Lockers podcasts first, and then check out
I don't know about all
some of mine.
Pretty bad and pretty long.
Oh my god, dude! My first like 30 are trash.
Yeah, right. I think we're on like number 30, so yeah, that's about right.
That's because you forgot to post.
Right, that's right. We actually have like 75, but
yeah.
Fair enough. A nice backlog.
Right. That's right. That's right. That's all we were doing, just getting set. Now we can just sit back and cruise for the next like year.
Yeah, we're gonna look different. Next, I'll come back. I'll shave my beard up.
Right? Awesome. All right. Well, Angel, man, I really appreciate it. It was really great, sort of getting to know you.
Thank you guys for having me. This is awesome.
We'll definitely get you back on here again. It was so much fun.
For sure. And I need you guys to come on mine.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll do this anytime.
We'll do this whole thing again. We'll do it live.
Sure. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, no, it sounds good. We'll definitely do that. So, again, everyone who's listening or watching and stuck around to the end, again, appreciate that. Hit the like button, comment if you have any questions. any thoughts on an upcoming show? We're always looking for ideas for content, so feel free to post it up.
Yes.
You know what I totally forgot about, and I don't have it? We'll have to circle back. But we have a text community that is getting bigger and bigger, and we don't even really promote it.
Oh.
But one of the things about the text community, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So basically, but it's the worst because we don't post to it enough. But it's people can text light bars to our phone number, which I don't even know what it is, but we'll put it back in post. It is in every show notes.
I remember like a while ago we talked about this.
Yeah, we were really promoting it. And then
is it the 188 number?
No, it's like a 717 number or 217. I don't know. Here, let me. But somebody and people often have questions, and they will post them up there. And so somebody had a question, and I forgot to ask it. So I know, and it's it's on my phone, which is also my camera right now, so I can't even.
Oh, really?
Yeah. How crazy is that? Okay, so
How many
716
inches of lift do I need?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? No, it's definitely much more complicated.
What size tires can I run on a stock JL?
Because that one I could answer. At this point, I can answer that in my sleep. I've seen that one.
How many cutoff wheels do you have? That's the answer.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so the number is 716-209-3576. So if you text podcast there,
we won't answer your questions or read them.
That's right. We'll read them. We just won't answer them.
Or we'll tease you with the idea that we may or may not do something.
Yeah. We'll just do a whole show. Well, actually, maybe we'll do like a little short one just to answer this gentleman's question.
All right.
Because it really was a good question, and I reached in and asked him if he had it answered, and he said no. So I was like, all right.
That's terrible, Paul. I feel bad.
I know, terrible. So we'll get that teed up, and we'll do that as well. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And then it's like insider stuff too, right? So we have a secret club sale going on right now, and anyone who's on Secret Club, they get 20% off our sale that's going on right now. So somebody just like cleaned up and ordered like 6 hoodies and 2 t-shirts and something, and it cost them like nothing. I was like, yeah, like sweet, like total awesome deal. But we're blowing it out. We have new stuff coming in next week. So but that's over today. So unless you're watching right now, you're probably not gonna
out of it.
Take advantage. Yep. So so again, Angel, man, I really appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
It was so much fun. And
thank you guys.
You're welcome anytime.
Awesome.
Tim is out. I forgot to mention that earlier, but Tim is he's with his racing and what have you. He's got his buggy and
he's hugging it.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, if I had a race buggy to build and races to prepare for, I don't think I'd be hanging out doing this either. Living in the real world.
They got Sturgis coming up.
What's that?
They got Sturgis coming up. That's the next race, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no, they actually have their own TMR race series that they.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it's in like Eastern Ontario.
Okay.
I think it's 7 or 8 races. And
nice.
It's pretty sweet. And it's a lot of fun. It's a very small sort of. I wouldn't say it's exactly like Ultra 4, obviously, but lots of buggies.
I'm gonna have to look that up and get my passport updated so I can come shoot it.
Yes, man. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we gotta do something up here for sure.
Yeah, awesome.
Get some of you Southerners over the border as soon as it opens, mind you, because
is it closed?
Oh, God,
yeah, dude.
Yes.
You can go for business, so you could kind of make it happen if you wanted to.
I'm shooting.
Hopefully, it's open very, very, very soon, so you won't even have to worry about it. But
yeah, they're saying something like maybe the 20. Is it the 25th or 6th or 8th or something of July?
Yeah,
something like that, where they're gonna make the decision to probably extend it another month.
Exactly, right? Oh, like I said, don't even get me started,
dude.
Yeah, what we are dealing with now, it's crazy. But so again, the couple that stuck around, appreciate that. And that's it. We're out. So
that's everything.
That's it. Until next week, which we're doing Thursdays at 8:00 now. So bring your beverages.
8:15.
8:05.
Oh, 8:05. Why not 8:15? I gotta make it from the massage to the other store.
Oh, right. You're 8:15. 8:15 is our time.
I gotta stay longer, dude.
Thursday at 8:15. There we go. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
All right.
everyone, thanks again. Really appreciate it. Angel,
Yes.
thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
Lots of
Thank
fun.
you guys.
And,
All right, dude.
that's it. We're out.
Oh, so-